It's rolling on it. What is it?
Purchase your tracks today.
Know the people been waiting for a minute for something authentic. Came in the truth and bossed in it, made niggas regroup. Had to shed light on the false image. UPK whole court. Now who the fuck won scrimmage? 2 words for soft niggas. What is good riddance? Don't affiliate with feminine symptoms. I know you feel me, nigga. This a death threat to hip hop. You don't stop that weak shit, I'ma mix your lean with some grimlock. When the last time you heard it this raw? What I wish for's when the earth inherited by the piss poor. We been to war, them the ones I'm taking risks for. Ain't got no picks or no cars to hold. Holy angels watch my steps, them Glock guard my soul. Can't let them leave my body cold. I know you feel me, nigga, let the wicked weep and the meek prevail. God never been 50-50, I shall now awake and sleep a cell. Let the righteous cry, silence the pretender. A rebel without a cause, as long as I remember. Not taking the kingdom, the only thing on my agenda. Can't avoid me, nigga. Middle finger to the ones that try to destroy me. Revenge of beauty, I'm a beast. I told the bitch she can't eat, let she join me for dinner. My God ain't got no regard for a sinner. One call fall on him like timber. I know you feel me, nigga. In the eyes of terror, I stand still. Go to work for the colony, bring it back to the anthill. Plus everything I drop, heavy as an anvil. Show you how to stand like a man in this damn field. I know you feel me, nigga. Fuck equality, it gotta be one man win and the rest lose. Wave devastator, I'm calculating my next move. UPK with real niggas seek refuge. Body shots for bars, that'll get you bruised. My niggas whole ranker, check your little attitude. I came to fuck up your move on your little holiday like I'm Mr. Scrooge. Resurrected from the grave, walking from the fall. Bitches in my eyes, gripping the mic, screaming God bless the underdog, down by the letter. And live by that protocol, walk by faith, not by sight. Ain't no hope, forget the struggles. Life like tug of war, resist or get pulled into a world that never left you. I will endure, election will be sure, correction will be swift. No Will Smith, but I am legend. What else would you call the killer of deception? A leader got soldiers on post in every direction. On gold like a German shepherd, young and a restless, swear honor like a diamond necklace. I know you feel me, nigga.
Purchase your tracks today.
It's rolling on it. What is it?
Yeah, those are messed up, no. Bad news is to beat your home, nigga. Yeah. Go on, get on that ass real quick one time. 144, baby.
They said you get on, you gon' represent, I said of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch me whole guard. Yeah, ain't know they call me Obi-Wan, I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course, get it lit up like a torch. You even Lord or this Lord, so that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that, I swear I'm to our core. Wait up, let me make a call right quick, I'ma start another war. I was hurting when she left, but I don't care about any more. I need a Vaseline like my Nina Puffer bar. Togazak, watch the dark. Matter of fact, like a dart. Any problem, let them come. We gon' snatch they soul like Shang Tsung. Put them out of service, go dumb, yeah, bitch, we whole guard. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan, I come with the fart. You gon' ride, yeah, of course, get it lit up like a torch. You even low or this low, told that bitches either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that, I swear I'm to our core. Yeah, I just got off the call, I'ma start another war. Spit a plate up with my niggas, get your knife and your fork. He ain't locked in with the count, and what you speaking to me for? Yeah, I just took the floor, ain't no cowards in my campaign. They can't stop the campaign, tell them bring the champagne. They know I'm a champion, they can see the outcome. Get them niggas bad, got them tied down and out there. Came through with them steppers, niggas been down since day one. We run up the bands, bitch like Dylan. They say you get on, you gon' represent, I said of course. Soon as they crate that beat, I read that bitch just like a horse. Yeah, about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, we whole guard. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan, I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course, get it lit up like a torch. You either low or this low, told that bitches either or. I told you niggas, you ain't cut like that, I swear I'm to our car. And I just made the call, we gon' start another war. Yeah.
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So then you said that they put millions of my people. Yes, you said so. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. That's right.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacle set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never a home, only a place of captivity, save facility, hating disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting, the trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles will make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage is safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words.
ringing in my head like bells. Said you in this body, you fit a lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is served cold, I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in the world of mad shooters. Devils design fire for our babies to pass through. In the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
Someday you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Yeah, I'm on 44 shit, you know what I mean? Busy man. Look, when that shit drop, you step all the way on their neck, step on their neck and their head with that shit.
Fine then, I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel, he nice but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. They mad, I'm too solid, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. No, they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rank for real. I got real soldiers, kill for me, nigga, watch yourself. They say you been in beast mode lately, you is not yourself. When you dropping that fire, precious marriage, they inquiring. They can't stop what's coming, but I see them conspiring. Cross the line, them firing. This bitch here, finna break the spin. No kindness, I don't trust you, circle small. You can keep your features. Me and my niggas don't keep no secrets. In the feel like Jeepers Creepers, say they want some smoke, dawg. Try I brought these chimney sweeps. Coming like we coming, you can't even cap. These niggas don't run it like we running, bitch, don't even start. Bitch, I'm with my niggas till the end, till death do us part. So if you wanna leave, you can leave, bitch, bless your heart. Fine then, I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel, he nice but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got a man, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. I heard they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rate for real. Take over in effect, yeah, I'm fully focused. You might not see it on me, just know it's women, that bitch fully loaded. Ooh, yeah, we up and rolling. Told them I need major motion. Think I'm joking, I'ma school them niggas like they baby Jody. Got it out the dust, now I'm too clean, don't know why they hate me. What you want out life, dawg? Guns and butter, baby boy. You PK top, dawg. Certified road runner. I'ma turn that econ line van to a damn tank. I got choppers stashed in the attic like they Anne Frank. They had that shit on lock till I snapped on them like bolt cutters. You cannot play both sides, gotta choose your colors. See him throwing that one up with that W, that's my blood, bro. Fine then, I ain't show no mercy, I'm gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the dust, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel, he nice but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got a man, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. Said they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rank for real. Damn! Killing motherfuckers. Stand over him, shoot him in the face. Say, dog, hey, listen, bro, you don't know me. I be this bitch tripping.
West till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. One West till they bury me.
All right, clap it up. Hey, Shalom Israel. But the Isupk started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York since 1969 under Commanding General Yohana. And this is the Friday night Lashawan Qadash class. The Lashawan Qadash in the Hebrew simply means holy tongue. You understand? So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to get into the Hebrew alphabet. And we're going to start out with that. This is our ancient the language of our foremothers and our forefathers going all the way back to Adam. It's the oldest language that's known under the sun. You understand? This is the language of the Lord. You understand? So we're gonna start with the ancient Hebrew. And then in the Hebrew, you always want to write from right to left. You understand? So this is the A. It's the Ba. That's the block. Fix this. That's the Ba. That's the Ga. That's the Da. So your first four is A, Ba, Ga, Da. That's the Ha. Is the Wa. The Za. This is the Ka. I want y'all to really pay attention to these letters, because some of these letters sound alike, some of these letters look alike. So I want you to pay attention. That way you know whenever it's time for you to actually read the Hebrew, it's time for you to write the Hebrew, you know what letter, you know what I'm saying, when you're reading it, you know what letter is, how it's properly pronounced. You understand? So this is the Ka. This is the Ta. It's the Ya. is the ka. Now, sometimes whenever you read in the Hebrew, if you're not careful, this ka and this ka can kind of trip some people up. You understand? Because a lot of times when you're reading the Hebrew, it's read in Assyrian Hebrew, which we're gonna go over the alphabet for the Assyrian as well. So whenever you're reading it, you wanna pay attention to the character, and you want to make sure that you're reading it properly and pronouncing it properly. This is the la. This is the ma. This is the na. And these two also look alike. So whenever you're reading it, if you're reading it in this in the ancient paleo, you understand? You want to make sure that you reading this one correctly as well. This is the sa. This is I. This is the pa. This is the taza. This is the qua. This is the ra. That's the sha. That's the tha. So here's your letters of the alphabet in the ancient Hebrew. You have your a, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ka, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, taza, kwa, ra, sha, tha. If you notice, there is no vowels in the ancient Hebrew at all. So you won't see how the fake Israelites that say they pronounce Jacob as Yakub or Yokub, or you know what I'm saying? They pronounce Yahawashai, which is our king. They pronounce him as Yeshua, and all this other garbage that they putting out there. But if you notice in the ancient language, there was no vowels in the ancient language. All of it was low sounds like ah, ba, ga, da. How this is how we spoke. You understand? So I'm gonna give you another minute to take that down. All right. So now we're gonna go to the Assyrian Hebrew. We're gonna go to the Assyrian Hebrew. So with the Assyrian Hebrew, you have it's the ah. It's the ba. Here's one thing that'll always help you with the ba. If you think of the ba as a backwards hangman, this is how it was broken down to me. Understand? When you're writing the Assyrian Hebrew, when you get to the ba, think of it as a backwards hangman. You understand? Then you'll be able to get that one correct. So this is the ga. It's the ga. Is the da, and this is one of the characters that you want to pay attention to as well. So, like I said in the beginning, a lot of these characters look alike. A lot of them sound alike. So you want to be very cautious whenever you're reading the characters or when you're writing the characters. That way, you know exactly what you're spelling. You know exactly what you're pronouncing. Understand? This is the da. This is the ha. So you'll notice the difference between the ba and the da is the ba has the line underneath, the da does not. The ga has like a upside down V at the bottom. Now that'll be an easy way for you to distinguish those three. We also have another one closer towards the end that's similar to the da. We have a few of them that's similar to the da that you want to be cautious of. And here's one right here. It's called the wa. You want to be cautious of this one. This is the wa. You notice the da is going all the way over, and then straight down. The wa starts up a little bit and it comes and it curves down. You understand? You want to be very cautious of that. Sometimes when reading the Hebrew, especially the Assyrian Hebrew on Sabbath service, you understand you can be reading it and you'll see a wa be there and you'll not really paying attention and you'll pronounce a da or vice versa. You understand? It's very important to pay attention to the characters and understand what you're reading. Understand? So this is the wa right here. This is another one. Ka. Now notice the ka, Salakia. Before the ka is the za, Salakia. So this is the za. Here's the ka right here. Now, if you notice, the ha and the ka looks very similar. The only difference between the two, here's another one that you got to pay attention to when you're reading the Assyrian Hebrew. The difference between the ha and the ka is the ha has a division between the lines. The ka does not. You understand? So you want to, when you're reading this, you want to be very, very cautious of how you're reading it. This is the ta. It's the ta. This is the ya. Now notice the ya, the wa, and the da look similar, but the ya is going to be a lot smaller and it's going to be up to the top. You understand? So the ya is going to be smaller and up to the top. Now here's some characters that we're getting ready to get to that are interchangeable inside the word, meaning depending on where the letter is, the character is inside the word, the writing of the character would change. This is the ka. Now, depending on if this is in the middle or at the end of a word, it'll be written like this. If you notice, it looks like the da. Only difference is, even though it's straight across and it's down, it's longer. You understand? So you want to pay attention to it. This goes at the beginning. It's like this goes at the beginning of the word. This would go at in the middle or at the end of the word. This is the ka. We got la. Let me fix this. La. And here's another one. This is the ma. Is the ma. That's how you would write it if it's at the beginning of a sentence or a word. Understand? If it's in the middle of a word or at the end of a word, then you would write it like this. That's a line here. That's the ma. We got the na. That's the na when it's at the beginning of a word. If it's at the middle or the end of a word, then you will write it like this. If you notice, the na at the in the middle or the end of a word looks just like the ka in the middle or the end of the word. But the only difference is the cutoff point for the beginning line is a lot shorter. You understand? So whenever you're reading it, you want to pay attention. You want to look at how it's presented. You understand? Well, if you look at the way it's actually written, and you understand that the cutoff is at the beginning here is a lot shorter than the one over here, then you'll know that this is a na and not a ka. You understand? So the next one is sa. Slakia, the next. Slakia. And the next one is sa. And then you have I, which looks like a Y. And now you have the pa. This is also another one. This is how it looks when it's at the beginning of a word. When it's at the end of a word, it looks like this. That's the pa. And you have the taza, which kind of looks like a backwards I. Understand? With a fish hook at the end. So this is the taza. And then if you're reading the taza in the middle or the end of a word, it looks like a backwards Y. All right, this is the qua. And there's the ra. Notice the ra and the da looks damn near identical. You understand? When it comes to writing the ra and the da, you want to really pay attention. You understand? These two look damn near identical. Here's the sha. And then you have the tha. Salakia, the ka. actually comes across on both sides. The ka comes across on both sides like that. I gave you a moment to write that down. All right. Now we're going to get into some of the characters that actually look and sound alike. That way you know how to distinguish them from one another whenever you actually read in the Hebrew or you write in the Hebrew. You will know what goes where, and you'll know how to pronounce it and how to actually get the right one correct. So the first one we're going to do letters. Just lock it. All right, we're going to do letters that look alike.
How you doing?
So right here, what you have your ba, you have your ka, and your pa. If you notice, these right here look very similar. Understand? Always notice the difference between the ba and the ka. The ba at the bottom, the tail is gonna go all the way across, and it's gonna have a straight line coming down. The difference between the ka and the pa is the pa is gonna have this right here, the little tail tucking on the inside. Understand? Here's some more that look alike. Like you want to rewrite that. Some more that look alike. Here's the pa, which is this will always be at the beginning of a sentence, the beginning of a word, salaki. So always be at the beginning of a word. This pa right here will always be either in the middle or in the end. And sometimes it can trip you up because you have the, it's like, yeah, this is not the raw, this is the qua. You have the qua that if you're not careful, you could easily mix that up with the pa. You understand? Let's go to the next one. The next one is the ga. The ka. It's like the ga and the na. And these are characters that you wanna pay attention to whenever you're reading the Assyrian Hebrew. Let's go to the next one. The next one you got the da. And the wa. And when you're reading the Assyrian Hebrew, sometimes it can be real easy, especially these two right here, to get mixed up. You understand? Sometimes you'll be in the flow of reading, and then the word da would da be there, and if you're not careful, you will mix the da with the wa. You understand? Because these two is sometimes could be very easy to get mixed up. You just want to be cautious when you're reading. Go to the next one. The next one, we got the ra and the wa. It's like it a ya. Now notice, all of these four look very similar. So whenever you're reading it, the ya is gonna always be a lot smaller than every other character. So whenever you're reading it, you want to make sure you're paying very close attention to these characters. That way you're not pronouncing the word. All right. We'll get into some more of these next week. We're going to go into the salute. It's the Hebrew greeting or salute. This is for the brothers we're gonna start with. So we'll write it out first, and then after we write it out, then we'll go into the Hebrew of it. The first word of the salute is shalom, which means peace. The first word of the salute is shalom, which in the Hebrew means peace. We'll go to the next word. The next word is Yahweh, which is the name of the Most High. It means God or Lord. In this context, this one would be God or Lord. All right, the next word would be Bahashem. And this means simply in the name. So you have Shalom, Yahweh, Bahashem, which means peace. God or Lord, which is the name of the Most High, is Yahweh, and Bahashem in the name. And then the next one is Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai is the name who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. So Shalom, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai means peace, Lord or God in the name of Jesus. Then the next word is Barak. Which means bless. Atha is the next word. Which means you. And then you also have a thumb, which is this is a thought is singular. So you would say this. You would say Barak a thought when you're speaking to one person. You would say a thumb when you're speaking to a multitude of men, which is plural. A thumb is plural. A thought is singular. So a thumb is like saying you all. You have singular and you have plural. So this is the salute for the brothers. So when you see brothers and you see another brother and you want to bless them, you would say Shalom, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak, Atha. If you see another brother, if you see more than one brother, you would say Shalom, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak, Atham, which means plural, which means you all. All right, now let's go to the salute for the sisters. All right, let's go to the salute for the sisters. You have Shalom. Meaning peace. Yahweh. Meaning Lord or God. Shamar. Meaning watch. Shamar means watch. The next word is al, which means over. Again, you have atha, which is singular. Which means you, and it's singular. And then you also have a thumb. It's like a thun with an N on the end. A thun is like saying you all for sisters with an N on the end of it. The next one is Bahashem. And the name all right, so this will be the salute for sisters. So you would say, if you see a sister, you would say Shalom, Yahweh Shamar al Atha. If you see one sister, it'd be Yahweh Shamar al Atha, Bahashem Yahweh Shah, which means peace, Lord, watch over you in the name of Jesus. Now, if you see multiple sisters, you'll say Shalom, Yahweh Shamar al Athan, Bahashem Yahweh Shah, which means peace, Lord, watch over you all in the name of Jesus. You understand? I'll give you a minute to write that down. All right, let's go over we got this, we got the salute or the greeting down. We're gonna quickly go over some of these table of nations. Now you have 18 nations under the sun. You understand? The Lord created 18 nations. The first one, and this is not in order of when the nations was created. We just listing the nations, and we're gonna start with the Most High's favorite, which is Israel, or Yasha Allah in the Hebrew, which are so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And in the nation of Israel, there's 12 tribes. You understand? Number two, the next one. Get a little bit of space in them. The next one is Edom. Which is the so-called white man. And in the Hebrew, Salakia, you have, in the Hebrew, is Adawam. Salakia, Adawam. If you have any questions, you can type it in the chat. The next one. The next one is India, which is Elam. And in the Hebrew, is Ayalam. Next one is the Assyrians, which is Ashur. You'll notice whenever we say the prayer and we read Psalms 83, when we say Ashur is also joined with them, they have hope in the children of Lot, Salah. This is who we're talking about. We're talking about the Assyrians have also joined themselves. You understand? And in the Hebrew, again, it's pronounced Ashawar. All right, the next is going to be Syria. Syria is Aram. In the Hebrew, it's pronounced Aram. The next, we're gonna get the Arabs, which is Ishmael. In the Hebrew, Ishmael is Yashamayala. And these are the Arabs. Next, you have the Chinese, which is Moab. The biblical name for the so-called Chinese people is Moab or Mawa Abba.
You want telling me some more music?
Mawa Abba, hello Christ Cap. Is the biblical name of the so-called Chinese people. All right, the next one is the so-called Japanese. The so-called Japanese is Ammon in the Hebrew. In the Hebrew, they are Imawan. The next one, you have the so-called Ethiopian, which is Cush. In the Hebrew, it's Kawash. So Ethiopians. Next, you have your so-called Egyptians, which is Mizraim. In the Hebrew, Mizraim is Matazarayim. And these are your so-called Egyptians. There's your first 10 out of 18. You got Israel, which is the 12 tribes of Israel, which is Yasha Allah in the Hebrew. The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians is the first one. Your second one is Edom, the so-called white man is in the Hebrew is Adawam. Then number 3, you have Elam, which is the so-called the people of India. You understand? And that is pronounced Ayalam. And then you have Ashur, which is so-called Assyrians or Assyria. And in the Hebrew, it's pronounced Ashawar. The next one you have Aram, which in the Hebrew is Aram, and these are your so-called Syrians or the people of Syria. Next you have Ishmael, or in the Hebrew it's pronounced Yashamayala, and these are your so-called Arabs. Next you have Moab or Mawa'aba, and this is your so-called Chinese. Mawa'aba is your so-called Chinese. Next you have Ammon, which is Imawan, and these are your so-called Japanese. Understand? Then you have Cush or Kawash, which is your so-called Ethiopians. Then next you have Mizraim, which is the ancient name of Egypt, or pronounced in the Hebrew, Matazarayim. Understand? All right, let's get the next 8. Next, we have the North Africans. In the Hebrew, their name would be pronounced Pawut. Or Put. Then after that, you got your South Africans. In the Hebrew, it's Canaan, which is Canaan. The next we got Turkey, which is Gamar, or Gomar. Next, you got your Russians. Which is Magawag in the ancient Hebrew. Also pronounced Magog. Next, you have Greek. Which is Javan or Yawan. Then you got your Germans. Which is Ashkenaz. After this, after the so-called Germans, you have so-called Spanish. When we talk about the so-called Spanish, we're not talking about so-called Hispanic brothers and sisters. You understand? So-called Mexicans, Cubans, Puerto Ricans, Guatemalans, Colombian. We're not talking about none of them. You understand? We're talking about the Spanish people that actually conquered our northern tribe. This is Tarshish or Tharashayash. And then last but not least, we have Cyprus. Or Kathayum or Kittim. give a moment for you to write that down. And what we just did was we went over the 18 nations. All right. Let's go over a few words and their meaning and how to write it in the Hebrew. We'll start out with Yasha Allah or Yasha Allah in the Hebrew. But remember, you always want to write, when it comes to Hebrew, you want to write right to left. In the English, you're going to write left to right. In the Hebrew, you're going to go right to left. So we're going Yasha Allah. Yasha Allah in the Hebrew. That's Israel. Next, the next word we're gonna go over is Alashadia. Allah. Allah Shadia. And this means power, almighty. So Alashadia means power almighty. Next we have Allah. We have Allah, which means power. Just singular. If you have any questions, you can type it in the chat. It is Allah, which means power. So far we got Yashala, which means Israel. This is Yashala in the Hebrew. You got Alashadia. Then in the Hebrew, this is Alashadia in the Hebrew, which means power almighty. And then you have Allah, or power. And this is how you would write that in the Hebrew. Next, you have Alahayim. You will write that. Allah. Yum. Alahayim, which means powers, plural. Next, you have Malak. You have Malak, which means king. Next, you have Adanya. That's how you write that in the Hebrew. You have Adanya. You'll write this how you'll write it in the Hebrew, which means my Lord. All right. Next you have Yarawashalom. In the Hebrew, spell it. And this is Jerusalem. A minute for that. All right. If anybody watching online, if there's anything you don't understand, then if you have any questions, you can type it down in the chat. All right. The next word is shalom. So we went over this earlier. Let's add the Hebrew to it. Got shalom, which means peace.
Power on.
And this is a greeting.
Bluetooth connected. Battery low. Power on.
Next, we have Barak Atha. We went over this earlier as well. Hebrew. Let me scoot this over. We got Barak Atha, which means bless you. We have Salakia. Salakia, which means forgive me. You have Salak. Which means forgive. You have Tawab. In Hebrew, it's Tawab, which means good. All right, so you got shalom, which is the greeting, which means peace. You have barakatah, which means bless you. Salakia, which means forgive me. You have salak, which means forgive. You have tawab, which means good. Next, you have Khan. You have Kayana, which means yes or so. Next, you have La'ah. Which means no or not. Next, you have halal. The Hebrew, which means praise. Next, you have halal waya. It's halal waya, which means
We want to bring some beers in.
Which means praise Yahweh. Or praise you, Yahweh. Give a minute for you to write it down.
In the office.
All right.
Why would we go in the office and do what? Think with me real fast.
All right. It's Precinct Officer Lakam Yala, 500 Isupk. Chicago started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. This is your Lashawan Qadash class. Tune in next week. You understand? And with that, shalom.